and Bowen Mogensen, who of course were silver medalist at last year's World Championships, and 2 years ago at the Olympic Games, a silver medal. They're up against the pair who were silver medalists this year at the World Championships. And we've got a real treat in the final match as well, because we've got the newly crowned world champions, Go Sung-hyun and Shin Baek-chul. They're up against two players from China who both happen to be reigning Olympic champions, but only playing their 6th ever tournament together. Two courts in action on semi-finals day, and the players on the other court, you can see it's an all Chinese women's doubles, but let's have a look at the Destination Dubai men's singles ranking. And it's interesting to me, only one Chinese player, but 3 Japanese players in those top 10. Sadly, Lee Chong-wei unable to contest here in Denmark, but Chen Long, we're about to see him. He's at number 2. Song Wan-ho and Hans-Christian Viting, who swapped places after the Australian Open. But the big mover, of course, was Tommy Sugiyato, up 6 places from 14 after reaching the semi-final in Australia. So he's at number 8. Of course, it's only the top 8 players who will qualify for the end of year Super Series finals, which will take place, of course, in Dubai this year and for the next 3 years after this as well. It's a 4-year stint in Dubai, and so many of the players, and indeed you and I, Morten, we're looking forward to that as well, aren't we?
Certainly. I must admit, I've never been to Dubai. So it's the first for me, and I am looking forward to it. Not only seeing Dubai, but obviously also watching the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. We should remind you, of course, that with the Super Series finals, you're only allowed 2 players from each nation. So I was emphasising that there was 3 Japanese players in that top 10 of the men's singles. Only 2 will be able to go to the Super Series finals, and that will make a whole lot of sense while we look at some of the other Destination Dubai ranking lists, because of women's doubles, women's singles, where a lot of players from one nation. So here comes the Commonwealth Games gold medalist Kashyap Parupalli from Mumbai in India, 28 years of age now. And here the defending champion, Chen Long of China, the number 2 seed. In fact, he's won this Denmark Open title twice, 2011 and again last year. In both previous finals, he defeated the world number 1, Lee Chong-wei. Well, for Kashyap Parupalli, this is his 4th Super Series tournament semi-final, but only his 2nd Premier Super Series semi-final. There we can see the draw from quarter-final stage, and good to see 2 Indian players involved. Of course, Shrikant Kidambi had the advantage of the fact that Lee Chong-wei withdrew from the tournament, because that should have been a first-round match. But doesn't it just go to show the strength and depth of these Super Series events? A man who probably in the first round thought that he would probably lose to the world number 1, through to the quarter-final, where he lost a very good match, an interesting match against the Korean Song Wan-ho. So at the semi-final stage, as you can see, 2 Chinese players, 1 Indian and 1 Korean. Disappointment, of course, yesterday for Denmark home fans, with Jan Jorgensen not really back to his best after his knee injury that he picked up during the World Championships. But that's to take nothing away from this man, Kashyap Parupalli. 28 in the world ranking, actually went down 1 place on this week's world ranking. He has been as high as 6, and certainly down on the Super Series ranking as well, the Destination Dubai ranking, down 3 places. He didn't play in Australia down to 24, and as you can see, his win-loss record for the year, well, it shows in the negative, and the reason it shows in the negative is because his results from the Commonwealth Games, where he won the gold medal, don't count towards his world ranking. So in fact, in reality, he's got a positive win-loss record. What a terrific match in the second round. Had to save a match point in the third game, against Rumbaka of Indonesia. An hour and 10 minutes for that. He was 19-20 down in that deciding game before winning, as you can see, 22-20. And then yesterday against Jan Jorgensen, the 2010 winner. Well, as I say, Jorgensen not at his best, but I thought Parupalli played exceptionally well. So to the 25-year-old Chen from China, from Fujian province. We'll be going to Fujian shortly, won't we, next month for the China Premier Super Series event. As I say, he's not only the defending champion, he's two-time champion of the Denmark Open. His win-loss record for the year, very impressive. 5 finals from 8 tournaments. And look at that for a tough first-round match as well against the World Championship bronze medalist, Victor Axelsen. Tough battle against the left-hander Thanonsak Santungboonsak from Thailand. Hour and 8 minutes for that second round match. And how nice to see Brice Lebedev of France. That was his first ever Super Series quarter-final. So the Frenchman really playing well here in
He had a very
Odense.
fine win in the round prior to that. I remember I was a little bit surprised.
Against Chen Yuqian.
Yes, that's it.
And of course he had beaten Hans Christian Wittinghus, the number 8 seed, in the very first round. Well, as you can see from that, this is the 7th meeting between the two men. Kashyap has won just once, and that was back in 2012 at the Indonesia Super Series event. The last time they met was over a year ago in the group stage of the Sudirman Cup, the Mixed World Team Championships. It was fairly comfortable, 21-11, 21-9 in favour of Chen Long. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
Mikkel Fredal of
right,
Norway are
Chen
on par.
Long, China. And on my left, Parupalli, Kashyap, India. Parupalli, Kashyap to serve. Love all. Play.
Ooh,
I don't think it's wildlife.
it's not wildlife, it's a bit of feather. Oh no, it is wildlife. Oh, it's flown away. There we go. Clear the courts, please. Play is about to begin. Oh yes, look. Oh, isn't it beautiful?
It's a butterfly.
Yeah.
Must be one of the last ones of the year.
Mm. Yeah, nice net shot.
Service over.
Well, I know it was the very first
One
rally, Morton,
love.
but I was a little concerned about the movement of Chen Long. He looked a little stiff to me.
Yeah, but he had a very, very tough match in that second round against a Thailand player.
Yeah, Thanonsak.
It's wrong to say he was lucky to win, but it could have gone either way. I watched it while we were sitting up here watching another match. Obviously, it was just on the next court, and now and again, you're catching a little bit of it. And it was a very good match, and it was very tight.
1-all.
No, it's just Long on the back line.
Service over.
What's interesting in all the
2-0.
6 previous meetings between these two players, it's never gone the full distance. So even when Kashyap Parupalli won back in 2012, it was 2 straight games. And I was racking my brains, Morton, to think back 2 years to the Indonesian Super Series. And I don't really remember the match because I was trying to think, now what tactics did Kashyap use to beat his opponent? So I'm afraid I'm not really much help on on telling you how he managed to do it.
No,
but
I wasn't there.
In your opinion, what has Kashyap got to do tactically to get through this semi-final?
What he's doing now, which he's actually doing really well. I know it's very early stages in this match, but he's able to take the pace out of the match so far, out of the rallies. The pace is not very high, and I think that Chen Long have to increase the pace and pressure, because Kashyap is a very natural stroke player, and he likes it. You know, if the pressure is not too high, he can play all his nice shots and he can keep them in, make it difficult, and Chen Long really has to add on the pressure pace-wise. Got to stress him. Otherwise, Kashyap is very comfortable.
Yeah. It's interesting because actually my mind is going back to the World Championships last year, quarter-final in Guangzhou, when Kashyap Parupalli was actually playing against Du Pengyu. He was a game up, he was 2019 up, and obviously had a match point, but he didn't win it. But that was the sort of tactics that he was using in that match. And it's the style that suits him anyway, isn't it?
It suits him very well, as long as the opponent is not playing too fast for him. He can stay with them, and then he's got very nice shots. And he is prepared now and again to go in and take the chances, especially around the net, because he's got a beautiful net play.
7-3.
Incidentally, I hear Du Pengyu has resigned from the national
I heard
team.
that too, yes.
Yeah. Oh, service fault called. Eric Lickfoot of the Netherlands has called a fault on both men now, both of them for striking the shuttle above the waist. A little wry smile from Chen Long.
I'm not used to be faulted. How dare you? See, that's it. Good pace from Chen Long.
Service over.
See, that's it.
8-4.
That's when you get Kashyap out of position. See, then he can stay with him. I don't know if you know, that's nice, playing it back at the net there, that's a good shot. But Kashyap is comfortable here. He knows that he can keep it in, he knows this is the kind of pace he's comfortable with. So, you know, he just trot along and he's quite happy with how it's going. Must be in. Yeah, must be in. Yeah.
It's fascinating walking because, you know, I'm thinking back to the World Championship final when Chen Long played against Lee Chong-wei, and you were advocating I think you and I were sitting down with a cup of tea after the finals, and you were saying, you know, perhaps, and I think you mentioned on the commentary that perhaps Lee Chong-wei needed to be more aggressive in his style, more attacking in his style. And yet here you are, you're talking about different tactics for Kashyap to use. And it's what's fascinating to me is that it's not a standard set of tactics that you always play against Chen Long. What you've just explained is that this is the tactics that Kashyap should use to his advantage, given his qualities as a player. Those were different tactics for Lee Chong-wei, given his capabilities.
Yeah, they've got two totally different toolboxes, as I say, two totally different players. And yes, you're very right. That's exactly how I view it.
Yeah. Well, their man is 6 points adrift at this big game interval.
Yeah, he's got to start taking a few chances now. He's got to open up a bit. It's working, he's comfortable, but he's not getting the points, and he's 6 points adrift. And he's got to open up. Go for a few attacks, possibly play tighter at the net, all that. He's got to go a little bit tighter now if he's going to close the gap.
11-5, play. Service over. 6-11. Service over. 12-6. Service over. 7-12.
So 2 or 3 points now would be very nice for Kashyap to have. Obviously, it's easy to say and all that, but this is the time, I think, if he wants to close the gap, it should be now. That's it. That's good. Look at that. And straight down the line, yes. Suddenly we saw that injection of pace, and that's what he should do now and again, just to upset the rhythm a bit. That's good play.
8-12.
The idea was fine, but obviously completely mistimed it and went out on that sideline. But I think Kashyap is feeling that urge, as what I've just explained before. He's got to add on a little bit more pressure, take a few more chances to try to close the gap here.
He was waiting for that.
He was.
Stood his ground.
Yeah. But that's where Chen Long shows he's got good legs. The way he's able to recover from a situation like that. He's got so strong legs.
That's super disguise and angle on that final shot from Kashyap Parupalli, but I can't help but think, Morten, about what you were saying yesterday when we were watching the Indian player play his quarter-final match, and you were talking about sometimes he's a little bit lazy and doesn't go round the head and just happy to play that backhand. I thought for a moment that he was being, of course he did play the backhand, but I thought that was going to play him into trouble. He was lucky to get away with it.
He got a second chance on it, and lucky for him, because he was lazy, and it was a very, very fine example of what we talked about yesterday. And I don't know if you noticed here that Kashyap actually closed down the net when he was playing the net shot, and he stayed in, which was another little sign of the urgency he's feeling.
Nice.
So now it's only 3 points adrift. The interval, it was 6, wasn't it?
That's right. 11-5 it was.
Oh, that's a nice chance to take.
Yeah.
It's a good shot. I think it's a valid chance to take. It's a good play. Did not work out, but it's sending signals. That's in.
Yeah.
Service over. 11-14.
An Indian player has only ever won his Denmark Open title once, and that was Prakash Padukone, and we think it was in 1980 because the record books that we've been given says 79-80s.
Yeah, but I'm so convinced I lost to Prakash in the final in 1980 because I beat Rudy Hartono 3 months prior to him winning the World Championship in Jakarta in 1980. And Prakash went on to win the All England in 1980 the following week. So he won the Denmark Open or the Danish Open or the International or whatever they called it at the time, and then went on to win the All England. Beating Lim Swee King in the final.
Well, just for the record book, Morten Frost won this Denmark Open 8 times, 7 of them consecutive. Very, very interesting.
13-14.
You know, the whole psychology, not only the tactics being employed here, Morten, but, you know, the World Championship final, of course, all the talk prior to the World Championships was whether Lee Chong-wei would finally win the gold medal. And Chen Long went into that final as the underdog.
Definitely.
He's now playing as world champion, and all of a sudden, the pressure is most firmly on Chen Long's shoulders.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, nicely done.
Very nice. Good play by Chen Long. But you're right, it's the psychology of this game means so much. See, that's what I said. Go tighter on his net shots, and that's what he's doing on that return of serve. And the lift is getting too short here. Look at that, it's very short, but that's all due to a wonderful drop shot.
Well, Kashyap has been, in the past, quite open about the fact he really modelled his game on former world #1 Sun Jun. And like you, he suffers from asthma.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
One point in it.
That's good by Chen Long.
Oh, would you challenge?
No.
No. Okay.
16-14.
But he was so much in doubt. Look at that again. That was good by Kashyap. Good chance. Trying to close that net down. Chen Long saw it. Once again, clever play by Chen Long.
17-14. Service fault called.
Service fault called, struck above the waist. And Chen Long.
I'm a tall man.
Yeah, and that's not even the definition of a waist in badminton, where his shorts are. It's below.
That's good showmanship.
Ah, that's terrific. Well, I have to say, when you compare that serve to the doubles players, there's
Yeah, it's nowhere near.
nowhere near.
No.
They're not quite so amused.
No, but we are. Good play by Kashyap. That's it. A wonderful lift by Chen Long. Well, I think it's just interesting. Yesterday, when we saw Kashyap play Jan Jorgensen, you mentioned that you felt that Kashyap was a little bit underrated as a player.
Yeah.
And definitely in Denmark, amongst the spectators watching it yesterday, they did not know too much about him. So they felt it was a bad result by Jan Jorgensen to lose to Kashyap. And under the circumstances, I think Kashyap really played a good match, and he won it comfortably in 2 games. And I think that now the crowd here in Denmark get to know Kashyap, and I think you're very right. He's underrated.
Yeah.
So now he really got to pull up the shorts now.
New fashion statement. Back to the days when we were playing. We always had our shirts tucked in, skirts and shorts.
Yep. Couldn't you see if he's faulted again? Oh, it wasn't. That would have been funny, wouldn't it?
19-16.
Two points away from the opening game, the number 2 seed.
One point away.
Apologises for the good fortune.
20-16.
But this was 2 easy points for Chen Long. Was out. That was 3 easy ones.
Yep. 21-16. Opening game.
Won by Chen Long, 21-16.
21 minutes needed. And I have to say, I do like the way Chen Long, you know, the number of times I've watched him, and it seems very close a game, and he plays the big pressure points well.
He played them very well. And we saw that yesterday or the day before against the Thailand player as well. When it got really close, he played well.
I do find it extraordinary, Morton, in our sport. I can understand it in tennis, where players can be on court a match duration 4 hours, maybe even longer. But Kashyap there munching on his, was that a banana or?
Banana, possibly.
Yeah. You know, I find it extraordinary, but then I'm not a dietitian. I don't know anything about these things.
I'm not too good at it either, but
No.
but I agree with you. You know, you eat and drink for one match that possibly lasts an hour.
Yeah.
And you should be able to do that as long as you take in your drink.
Yes, exactly. It's the fluids that's the most important thing. It's almost as if it's become a trend in sport that you should have a little nibble on some food or...
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it helps psychologically,
Then do it.
then do it.
By all means. But it's funny you mention it, because that was one of the things when I played, you know, personally played. I had to force myself to drink enough. I was not good drinking during the match. And when we're having these long, exhausting matches, it was very important to do drink. But I had to force myself. I really had to think about it, and I had to force myself to do it.
1 love.
Well, I know the shuttle was deflected by hitting the net cord,
Love.
but
Well, that's a steep one.
that's a very steep one. And what a contrast in the movement between the two players into their deep forehand corners.
Yes. That's out.
Going wide. Mm.
Service over. 1, 2.
Now Kashyap really have to watch out.
Service over.
Otherwise the train is running away from him, I think.
3, 1.
There's that lazy backhand again.
Yes.
It wasn't even deep into the backhand corner. It was more sort of centre court.
Yeah. I'm happy you're with me on that one.
Definitely.
That's out.
Still good. I think there's a challenge here. Here we go. Here's the challenge. Well, I'm going to disagree with you, Morton. I thought that was in.
Challenge called in.
It's tight. It's just a gut feeling. Came quick.
Yeah. Okay, we'll have a cup of tea on it. Come on, Hawkeye.
Very civilized. It's
Oh,
out.
no!
It's out.
Correction. Out.
Good challenge. Oh, dear. I should never bet, should I?
Service over. 2, 3.
Oh, indecision.
I don't think that was indecision.
Service over.
He was hesitating, yes, when he had the opportunity up here. But as soon as
4, 2.
it was kind of coming down, he knew it was wrong. He was very, very composed and very sure he wanted to play it. And he played a good shot on it.
Oh, that's good.
Pace is definitely picking up now.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's here we see the net play of Kashyap. That's I think is a very neat and nice, good net play from him. I don't know if I explained about that shot earlier, the previous one, when he was kind of leaving it. When he had it up here, had the opportunity, he wasn't out. He started to leaving.
Yeah.
And then from there, he could not play a proper shot, but he knew it was in. And that
Yeah.
was why he was so composed when he played it underarm.
Yeah. It's gone wide. Yeah, we noticed yesterday, didn't we, Morten, that, you know, the players have been talking a little bit about a drift, and really the only drift we can see is the sideways drift.
And it's coming here.
Yeah. So as we look down on the court, it's coming from right to left.
Yes.
Okay. Back and forth.
It's going wide. There we are again. Taking a little bit with the drift, do you think?
Yes, and Chen is also indicating it. We did not see it on the screen here, but watching in live, sitting here just behind the court, he was indicating with his left hand that it was going out. Indicating the drift was taking it.
No, it's going out, surely. Yeah.
Yes.
Five all.
I do like the way Kashyap so often is prepared to play a net shot off his opponent's net shot.
Yes. That's where we see he's got such a good touch.
Service over.
Yeah, you should be cross with that. At least that was a much flatter shot, and he really was forced to play
He
the
was
backhand.
much more forced in this one, yes.
Service over. 6 all.
It was a clever shot. He's unhappy it did not work out, but it was a clever shot. He took the pace completely out of that one.
Oh, that's a super smash. My goodness, what a difference when he plays that round the head shot.
7
Yeah.
He's got options.
Yes, and he's got a very nice and neat cross as well, this slice shot.
So into the lead. First time in either game that he's had a lead. Kashyap.
See, that's pace. That's when he's. That's when you hurt him.
Yeah.
Really, really good follow-up by Chen Long here. That one there, and then pushing it very deep and very fast into that backhand corner. And that's the pace I'm talking about. If you want to unsettle Kashyap, that's the way to do it.
Eight, 7. judge. Line judge. Thank you. Service over. 8-all.
Just sense more in the next couple of points, 2 or 3 points, absolutely crucial psychologically. Kashyap really needs to have an advantage at the mid-game interval to try and build on that.
Service over.
He's got to
9,
apply the pressure,
8.
the mental pressure as well on Chen Long. And the way to do that is obviously starting to build up a lead as well. Doesn't have to be dramatic, just 2 or 3 points. That's a nice one again.
Yeah.
Service over. 9-all.
See, if they just follow like 12-all, 14-all, 16-all and so on, I think Chen Long is strongest when it comes to the very end.
Yeah.
It's almost like a sprinter knowing that, you know, I can sprint faster than my opponent who's next to me, and, you know, do we get close enough, I will outrun him.
Yeah. Well, the 800-metre runner, 1500-metre runner stay in the pack until the home straight, and if you've got that sprint finish,
you know
that's when you
got
kick.
it.
Yeah.
Service over. 10-9. Thank you.
Charge runs out on the left as we were looking at them.
Former world champion, men's singles.
2003, Birmingham.
Birmingham, yes, 2003. Did he beat Wong Chung Han in the final?
Certainly did. 3 magnificent games.
Yes.
Well, it's Chen Long, the current world champion, who has the advantage here in the second game. 2-point advantage for the number 2 seed and defending champion.
And that can turn out to be crucial.
Yep.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, very difficult to hear what the coach was saying there, Morton, but if you've been courtside, what would you have said to Kashyap?
11-9.
Now or never.
Yeah.
Play.
He's got to play his heart out. Try to up the pace, try to go for the shots. See if he can unsettle Chen Long. Play the net like that. Really start applying the pressure at the net if the opportunity is given.
That's
Yeah, that's
considerably
out.
long.
Yeah.
13-9.
Fantastic. What were we saying about the pressure points? It was 9-all.
14-9.
Now 5 straight points. Just opened up that cushion. We were saying that Kashyap needed to be in the lead at the mid-game interval.
Yeah.
Total opposite has happened in that his opponent is
Chen Long is running away with it now.
Yeah, yep.
Even should Kashyap get closer, I still think that this is a decisive lead. That will take him home.
It's such a simple follow-up, isn't it, when Kashyap has turned to play that backhand, because of course when you play a backhand in badminton you've got your back to the net, you can't see where your opponent is. It's slower then to have to turn and get back into the court centre position, the centre base. It's all time consuming, you can't see what's going on, it's bad all around.
Yeah, but that's where you've got to have that sixth sense.
Yeah.
You know, what is the pattern? What is he normally doing? What will happen? So and so, and that's where he actually had to try to get that cross court. He knows that follow up will come.
Yeah. Well, a fair amount of strapping on both legs, right knee, left Achilles.
Yeah, you should think he could hardly walk.
Well, this is now 8 straight points. 9-all, and we all thought it was going. Oh goodness me, that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Perfect. That wasn't too shabby either. Yeah, nicely done. Oh, it's just grazed his finger, I think.
Yeah.
Service over. 10-17.
Yeah, that's in. Good call by the line judge.
11-17.
Oh, service fault called. Eric Lickfoot of
Chen Long is indicating, you know, you use my trick and it will not happen.
Oh, here we go. He is. He's tucking his shirt into his shorts. There you are, mate. Tuck your shirt in.
Let's see if we get another chance of serving.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It all looks rather inevitable now, doesn't it?
It does. Chen Long can afford another miss. Service full court.
Service over.
He does indeed get another chance to serve.
Thank you. $12-19.
It's nice.
It's good pace now. See, that's what I mean. That's Chen Long managed to get that cross court and avoided the follow-up.
Yeah. Oh, clever.
Yeah, good. Great acknowledgement by Chen Long here. He really got caught. Look at that.
Yeah, little
Little
nod of
nod.
that.
Yeah, he really acknowledged it.
Yeah, that's nice to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 straight points.
From now on, Kashyap will only play with his shirt tucked in. Becoming a mental thing. Oh, yeah. Down the line, don't cross it. But it's so tempting, isn't it? It's so tempting. So, he's away, but he wasn't. He was waiting for it. Good play by Chen Long.
5 match point opportunities. That's gone wide, only needed the one. And the defending champion, Chen Long, the world champion, Chen Long, is through to the final of the Denmark Open. Yeah, thanks to his coaches. It was a fine performance, 21-16, 21-15. But it takes 2 players to make a good match like that, and I have to say that Kashyap, as you were pointing out, Morten, will have made an awful lot of friends here in Denmark, because he's really showed some wonderful skills and good fighting spirit as well. But today, the world champion, just too good for him.
Yep, but he had his chances.
Yep. Confirmation of the score, 45 minutes for Chen Long. So with 2 of our 5 semi-finals already completed, we will turn our attention from men's singles to women's singles. We've got the Olympic champion and #1 seed Li Shuirui of China up against last year's beaten finalist Sung Ji-hyun. Following the women's singles, we will have both the men's doubles and, of course, the 2 Korean pairs that are featuring in those 2 semi-finals battled it out for the World Championship title. But, of course, as far as the home fans are concerned, Bo and Mogensen will get the loudest cheer, I'm quite certain, all day here on semi-finals day.